all the hobbies I have.
You can never have enough pins.
Ich kann es zum Streicheln. This is a beautiful drawer. I have an idea. Hi, I'm Claudia and I document my projects here on YouTube, and today I'm going to show you my studio. The little sponsor is already waiting for us. Let's close the door. Kleine Charmeur. Here is where I work with the iron. Here you see the tripod for my camera. Here is the dresser. I have all my stuff I regularly use. And behind this magnetic wall where I collect inspiration. Then here is where I edit everything, and here is stash. Let's start with the sewing part of the room. I have here my main table, which is very cool that you can let it up and down. It's really versatile and I love it very, very much. And here I have my scissors in them, little tools, needles, miscellaneous things, safety pins, my compass and other little tools here that I often use. Let's go to the next important part.
This is also an important part. Let's put the sewing box away first and start on the right hand side. I have some fabric weights, a measuring tape, some different pins, some with hats and some without, because the ones without are less thick. Then of course bandages, then clips. Then this is for mending socks or else tape. Within that one I have all my writing utensils that I like and in one place. There are rulers, some straight ones, some with curves, and here is my sewing box, which contains everything I need for hand sewing, a little booklet with all my needles in, then another measuring tape. Within that one is chalk to mark fabric. Then we have some basting thread, some more pins, you can never have enough pins. Then little tools like pinzette, little scissors, seam rippers and another pair of scissors, and little rulers, 2 different thimbles, wax for hand sewing.
Then next to it you see my dress form. And here is already a sneak peek for my next project. I'm really pumped already for it. Now let's look at the dresser and start up here. I have here the big spools for the overlocker. The next one I have a lot of thread. Here all the zippers, elastics and special items, ribbons and stuff. Same goes for the next drawer. There is a lot of ribbon and all the things you need to make curtains. On the next level, the next drawer has everything you could need to close stuff, like buttons and eyelets. Then it has boning, also silk thread for buttonholes. Then here we have interfacing. That's just a bunch of stuff. It's not really orderly or anything, but I find what I need. Drawer full of tools, like for knitting, for crochet, for leather work, for embroidery, punch needling, anything that's just tools comes in here, and also the embroidered thread is also in here. Over here I have all my electronics, camera stuff, microphones, additional lamps, the bamboo tablet. I have my photo camera in here, all that stuff goes down there. The empty one. All patterns I used or self-drafted.
In this drawer I have a lot of sewing magazines, and there are some recent ones but also some from the 50s, and I really want to do a dress from this time in some future video.
So that's all that is in here and in the table, and that's basically all the stuff I always need fabrics are on the other side, but I need to show you what's below the table. Go from up there to down here. When I cut fabrics, there is always fabric scraps. Here is all that will be stuffing later on. Here is what will be stuffing but is still too large. Then here I have things that need to be seam ripped, like buttons on stuff or zippers. And here are actually things that you still could use. And down here I have a bin for paper and a normal trash bin and my trusty ironing table. And here with the iron is this big thing. That's a special thing I got second-hand once that you use for bigger curves and such. And here is all else you might need, like a little core arms or little stuff, then a spritzy thing. This is the bottle to fill up the water again. Then here I have two wooden things that help seams are pressed nicely. Then a little cloth to, if either I have to look out for my iron when I, for example, iron on interfacing, or the other way around when the fabric is very sensitive and you put the cloth over it. A little cushion really filled with fabric scraps. It's very easy to make. Tools for ironing hems and seams and stuff. Good. And then in the back, you saw them before, is my sewing machine, a Bernina sewing machine. That's the machine they use in schools here, so I thought this is certainly a good machine. And then I have a baby lock for my overlocker, and the great part is this one, because it's very easy to refret the machine, which is very convenient. And then we come to a little treasure down here. I really love her and she works, and I once made some tablecloths with that one and I want to use her more often. But until I familiarize myself with her and thread her and put everything in, she is just going under again. I think that's it for the sewing corner. Let's go to the editing corner. So I was just standing over there and now we are looking into the room again, like in the beginning. There is the entrance and here I do all my editing. And I really love my setup with my laptop here and then the screen here, and that works just flawlessly for me. And in the back here I have the charging station for batteries of the camera, for the microphones, and this is how it looks from the other side. Let's go to the storage. Here I have my block patterns are hanging here and things that need mending, and also towels that I use, for example, when I paint. Then I have here my cleaning station, a broom and a little shovel. Then down here is also some more mending stuff. And then here in the back I have two levels for canvases. Then let's go inside. More canvases, smaller ones. Then I have some buckets because I also did some natural dyeing and needed buckets. And the pans for natural dyeing or dyeing in general are up here as well. Something to cut paper, empty boxes, then floor sitting cushions. I really like to sit on the floor without any cushions, but sometimes when it's a long session, I'm still glad I have floor cushions here and up there. Here I have old sketching books, then I collected some old Swiss topo maps. Switzerland has very good maps. Then I also have some old videotapes that they are long digitized, but I have an idea for a project with those. Up here are some little pouches. Another empty box, another floor sitting cushions. Then here are some old curtains from our old flat that are white, which is very nice for maybe mock-ups or whatever. I could also use them to dye them. Here are some plastic thingies. Then carving. I really love carving. I haven't done it in a while, but I still love it. I have secondhand found a huge arsenal. I think it's 120 different tools for carving. I mean, that's so cool to find that secondhand online. Here is some more carving things like blocks I used and oils. I have also different saws and also something you can put on the table and then secure your carving thing, like your carving block, and then carve out with a chisel and a hammer. A box full of utensils for dyeing. I have a separate cooktop. I have like special tongs and the stuff in here, or old nails if you want to change the color of your dye. You have to watch my video about dyeing fabric. I'm gonna link it up here. And then my library, which I'm very proud of. I really love books. And there are some books about different artists, or other books like this book about an exhibition about kimono, which inspired me to do that video. Or about fashion, of course, Dior, Iris van Herpen, Acris, and Vivienne Westwood, which will be my next project. So subscribe, don't forget. Then more like history, patterns in like corsets and crinolines, things about the 17th century. Then here a really lovely book about straw, because this was a big thing in Switzerland. There is a museum about it. It's really cool. It's really, really cool. More like pattern books, then a lot about Japanese patterns. I mean, you saw my last few videos, so no surprise there. And then a really cool one about zero waste fashion. I want to dabble in that too. This is also really cool, carving with the motor saw, which is also something I want to try once. I don't know if you realize, but I do have ADHD. I think my stash does talk very nicely about that. And we will figure out even more hobbies I have on the way. Also, I have some drawing, coloring in books, and here are more books about crafting with paper, crafting in general, painting with stamps, painting with different colors, color theory. Then here are different papers for different mediums, be it coal, be it pencil, be it oil paint, acrylic, watercolor, whatever. Then let's go here, I think. Oh no, I'm gonna leave that for last because it's probably the one you are interested most, because all the fabrics are here. Here I have different wires inside. And here is something when I paint that I can put on my table, a plastic. This is my painting box, and what didn't go into the painting box is here. Then here I have gypsum, then a roll of paper. And then here I have a box with all my airbrush equipment, with everything I need to paint, so I can just take it out, open it, and I have everything there. And here I have paper, a cork, some more wood. Here I have Ecolin. Then down here I have my gouache colors. And here is cereal to fill stuff. Like I have wool, I have polyester, I have feathers, which is a pain. If you ever need to stuff something with feathers, don't. You have them everywhere afterwards. Let's start on the lowest. I have all sorts of glue, color pencils, and then just some random things. All sorts of colors. Coal, cardboard that are covered with canvas. Jetzt muss ich doch zeigen, was ich da alles schön in die Schublade habe, kleiner Bub. Es ist keine Zeit zum Streicheln. So, where were we? Everything for printing. a palette of oil paints, special pencils that are very soft, they are very good for drawing, different neocolor like ink in different colors, like aquarelle, oil paints, and then something every child gets in Switzerland in school. It's actually a gouache palette and the colors are really vibrant. Pigments, another thing to try out. Some just other things. Good, so last but not least, you're still here. And I think the most interesting part of any sewing room is actually the stash of fabrics, in my opinion, because I think it tells a story. It tells a story of what you like, what you liked before, what you maybe don't like anymore, what you might do in the future for projects. I think that's very interesting to look at. So let's go over there. So let's start up here. I forgot that I have these as well to show you. Here I have all my supplies for needle felting. The next one is all the wool stuff. Then in the next one are all fake flowers. Here is all that you could need to make bags, like handles or leather straps or these openings for bags, like little buckles and stuff. Then here we have this really cool foil in different colors and a little heart-shaped box with klürli, just miscellaneous things. Bed linens, stretchy material but also non-stretch. For mock-up it's very nice to have. Here is all things that are plastic. So here's organza, tulle and fabrics that are plastic. I also have like pelts that are plastic, or here is something with batting, and here is also an old sheepskin wool. Here are all possibilities of fabrics. In the back there are silks and wools, and then in the front are more cotton and linens. Actually, with that one I did my very first YouTube video on this channel. I'm gonna link that here. Here are the things that are less than a meter, and sometimes even like 10 centimeters or like that. There are all bigger parts that are left over. These are all t-shirts of my husband, of myself. This is actually a kimono from Japan, second-hand, which I want to do something with. And all kinds of things, shirts, dresses, skirts, which I collected over the years. Here as well, even more. Those are the leftover shirts that I used for this project, for the video here. And also here are more stretchy materials compared to the other, or also this really lovely fake fur. Then low. Here we have leathers. I got them secondhand as well, and also jute bag. I always think, yeah, Marilyn Monroe once wore such a thing because she wanted to like show that she can wear anything. Here are all the fabrics I dyed with natural fabric dyes. Very lovely. This is my jeans drawer. Those are actually all old jeans of me, my husband or friends. And then in the front there is some jersey, because I don't really have a lot of jersey. This is actually leftover from my Yarny cosplay. You can watch that here. Good. And now, oh yes. Oh, this is a beautiful drawer. Herein lie fabrics that some were gifts and some I got from a liquidation of a hotel. And they're just very beautiful. The next one. This one is going to be the fabric for my next project, the Vivienne Westwood inspired ball gown. And that's why I think I'm not going to show you the pattern. This one was a gift from Travelers, a beautiful cotton. I really love it. Oh, this one is also lovely. Oh, so beautiful. That's stock fabric, and this is actually a silk wool, and it's so comfortable. And I really love it. It's beautiful, and I'm certain I'll find a nice project for it as well. I really don't know what to do with that. It's not my color at all. And then here I have a very nice knit, or it's not really a knit actually, and it frays a lot, and it's gonna be hard to work with that, but it's also very beautiful. This is it. This is my studio where my ideas get real. And I hope you liked what you saw, got maybe also inspired by all the hobbies I have. If you don't want to miss out on my next project, the Vivienne Westwood inspired ball gown, please subscribe, and maybe you could make a suggestion what I could do with other fabrics I have in my stash. I would love to hear your ideas. Bye!